everyone, this is Sam, Create the Heart, and I'm back with my recap of Stamp Joys, the virtual Stamp Joy 2023. So this is a if you purchase the Friday class, then you get a little bonus. You get Friday classes and then Saturday classes. You make quite a few projects. This is one of those, and I think I mentioned it in a previous video. There's really two kinds of these workshops. One is you get a ton of product and you have to do some homework. You have to do cutting and prepping, and you got to get ready for it. Then there are ones where you get far less product, usually cost around the same, but everything is cut for you. And so I find that with the companies that I like, I get a nice variety. It's like half of the ones that I like give you everything. Like Tailored Expressions is one, La La Land Crafts is another. And then you get ones like the Crop and Create from Scrapbook and Cards or Pink Fresh Studio, where you have to do quite a bit of homework to prep for the class. And so both of them kind of have their place. I do enjoy both of them for a lot of reasons. This one was nice because I could just complete all the cards, and it kind of suited what was going on in my life. The Crop and Create, it's going to happen in a couple of weeks. I need to start prepping because it's a ton of prep for these classes because you do so many different projects. But let's go into this one. So for Friday's class, we made 4 cards using a variety of different techniques. With Friday's class, we get the directions all printed out in color for us. The Saturday classes were the little like handout type things were online. So that's kind of the difference. So for this class, I'll actually get this out of the way. For Friday, let's see. One is, I think that one's that one. This was Friday. So we did a liquid watercolors. We also did a colored pencil and Gamsol. Now the Gamsol, I saw this on someone else's site where they use this alcohol ink blending pen from Ranger, and it comes empty. So instead of using the stumps, you could fill this up, or you could just dip the pen part, because I found that filling it up was a big old pain because it kept pouring out. So you could dip the pen part and soak it into the Gamsol, and then you can use this instead of the stumps. And I really like this a lot. What I did discover is I do need to take care of my color pencils. I did use the Prisma color pencils, but I mean, I think the Gamsol works great with actually any color pencil. And so we did that technique, and I'll show you that. And we also did, we did a marker. So you could use Copics, or they're pushing the Olo. I did buy a set of, I bought the Saturday's Olo markers because it was 4 markers versus 8 markers, just to try them out. And I do like my Copics better, but I enjoy using the Olo also. So there you go. What we got in our kit, and so all of our projects for Friday, we use this Flower Market Stamp and Die. I really, really liked this. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, so I very much enjoyed that. They said that you could buy the linen background stamp. I chose not to buy that one, and I used my splatter background instead, just instead. And then part of our Saturday kit, we got this All Together Occasions 1, and I went, oh my God, I do have All Together Occasions. This is All Together Occasions 2. We got this in our Saturday kit. I already have one apparently, and these are great. This, you stamp it once, you have a die, it cuts all of these sentiments out. They're a little bit smaller sentiments, and there really are like all occasions. So that was great. We also use this for Friday's class. And then the other thing that was an optional buy, which I did end up buying, was this stitched rectangle stacklets, because we use this on Saturday as well, and this is just one of those ones we could just use all the time, so I did pick that up. Okay, so into the projects. Let's get into it so I can put everything away. Okay, class number 1 is over on my over here. Ugh, class number 1. So, class number 1, this is where we use the Ola markers, but I just use my Copics, and I used a scallop circle die that I had in my stash. I didn't buy the ones that they suggested. And I did a very subtle background with the splatter background stamp. I think it would look really great with the linen, but I just, I didn't buy that one. So I love how that came out. It's kind of simple. I like it. And then card number 2 was this card right here. And this is the one that we used the colored pencils and Gamsol, and I love how that came out. I think that if my pencils were they were a little hard to work with because they needed to be sharpened, and I feel like sharpening them, but I was in the middle of things. Here is that all occasions, so you can see that all occasions we could use that. And then number 3 was this one right here. And so for this technique, we just stamped and embossed in white over colored cardstock. And so this card is like an inside Z fold. And I enjoyed making that. That was fun. So there's that. And then for card number 4, I should have just taken them all, but this just kind of keeps me organized. For card number 4, what we did was we stamped and embossed in gold, and then we used the liquid watercolors from Tailored Expressions, which I actually really enjoyed. They did a wet technique where you wet your paper and then you put your ink on it. I don't really care for that because it just is uncontrollable ink for me. It's just not for me. I'm better off doing, I think because I'm a heavy-handed crafter maybe, I think it's easier for me just to do the wet on dry. I get a lot less pooling. And so, but that's how that looked. And I think that came out nice. So there was that. And then I had extra pieces from cutting things out. So I did make these cards. This is from another project that I screwed up on. I was supposed to emboss this in white. I ended up grabbing my clear because it looks white, but it's not. And so I didn't want to waste that. So I just saved that and used it for this project. And I had some watercolor left, so I just did some watercolors. I did the purple and I made my own green. And so I just reused some of the stuff that we had cut out, just little pieces. And so that was Friday. Okay, so Friday, get all that together here. So that's Friday. And for Saturday, so we did a variety of things. So we get they make their own like little stamp set. So they kind of steal from other stamp sets. And I have some of these. So what I think would be really awesome if Tailored Expressions is listening, that is to make an exclusive stamp set for Stamp Joy, because they have like 1,200 people. So, it's worth their while to go ahead and do that, because they would, technically sell 1,200 of these. To make an exclusive stamp set, not just this sampler thing that we all might have bits and pieces of, but an exclusive set with like a die set. And then that would be really, really great, because then, we'd be able to use it. Otherwise, if we buy this stamp set, then we have this extra moth. If we buy this one, then we have like an extra, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's just my thought. But this is what we used, okay, for most of our projects. And then if it didn't come from that stamp set, they gave us the pieces for it. Okay, so there you go. So for this one, they gave us this embossing folder, which is dots of diamonds. And so for this card, take everything out, because I'm going to put everything away after this, because my room is a hot mess. But we were supposed to have a rectangle, like a mask rectangle stencil, but it was sold out. We couldn't get it. It was a whole thing. So I just used my masking tape and I masked off a section, and then I stenciled that's how I stenciled it. I just masked it off, and that worked just great. And then you do your blending, and then you run it through the dots folder, or that diamond dots. And so they gave us these cone flower pieces, which I might have that cone flower somewhere. And then I Miss You So Much is part of the stamp set, which I kind of like that. And so that one came out really cute. I really like that. I really like this whole white on color. It looks kind of nice. So that was card number 1. And then card number 2 was super fun. I mean, crazy fun. And so she's going to be selling, Taylor's going to be selling these little card maps to help you use their strips dies in different ways to use up scraps. I love that because I really love these ideas to use scraps, but you don't need the strips die to do this. So we didn't have a strips die because they're kind of expensive, like $20-something. I think I have some strips dies that I got from another company and they were a lot cheaper. But anyway, you can just cut them. So these are 1/2-inch strips. And I think in a video I might, if I have leftover paper, I might go ahead and do it on camera. But anyway, I used that moth, and I found something similar in a similar color pattern to do 2 of them. So because I had enough paper to do 2 of them, so I have 2, and so that was the strips, and that was pretty cool. So there was like a method to doing it. Then we did. They usually always do a multiple card one, like a mass production. And so this is a really fun technique. So this is just sort of like a tone on tone. So basically you do clear embossing on colored cardstock, and then you get that tone on tone look. So when it does the clear, it has the color come up from the back. And then we stamped the Hello stamp set, which they gave us they didn't give us the die, but they had it already dyed out for us, and we just stamped on top of that. I think I might have this one though, Miss Hello. But I love that, and so we made 4 of them in all these variety of different colors, and so that was fun. So there's that. And then this one I kind of screwed up because I had to go, I went and I saw Mean Girls with my daughter yesterday in the middle of doing this class, and so I had to leave to go. So I just kind of fudged it. So what you were supposed to do is you're supposed to sort of mask off the edges and then do your, what do you call it? Your stenciling. Okay, this is a confetti stencil, which I don't know if I brought that with me. Yeah, here's a confetti stencil, which I had already in my stash. So, but it's doing the infinity shaker style. This is a mini slim. And so I didn't really pay attention, and I didn't do the masking. It does look really good when you kind of mask it all around and create a frame and then do it, but I didn't, and it still looks good. But yes, this is infinity shaker. So that was fun. And, you know, I screwed that up or whatever. And then we did this card, which I really, really like this card. I actually have this stamp set. So this one, we did a galaxy background. You were supposed to spray it with alcohol ink, which I'm not sure exactly what I was supposed to do, or with alcohol, 90%, which I didn't have 90%, and I didn't have time to go looking for it. So it was fine. I still sprayed it with my regular 70% alcohol, and it still kind of gave a little bit of a galaxy look to it anyway. And then you use white ink, and so I liked it. This card looks cute. We have these clay stars, which I recommend because those really jazz it up. So that was a really fun card. I enjoyed that. Okay, so then this one, and I love this one because this is very boyish, I guess. So for this one, we used a couple different things. So we were supposed to use a certain stencil. I can't remember if it was a stencil or not, but I don't think it was. But I didn't have whatever stencil, I don't think. But I had this one, and it worked for the technique. So what you're supposed to do is we stenciled, and then you take a black pen and you go around part of what you stencil and do a little bit of doodling. And so I did that. And then we use the vinyl paper to cut out the stars, which I have the stars. And then we used, let's see, what did we use? Oh, we used this. The Decofoil adhesive transfers. So apparently you can foil it, or you can, there's adhesive on the back, and you can use that adhesive to foil. So anyway, they gave us the die for this one, just for the You're Awesome. They sell the die for the whole thing, but like if I bought the die for the whole thing, then I would have this extra You're Awesome. So I don't know, that annoys me, but I don't know. It just does. But I like how it came out. So there you go. Very boyish, kind of a fun card. So that was good. And then, oh, here's the fine line bind background. We did get this in our kit. And this was what we used for that multiple card one. And then this one, oh, I forgot on this one. So this one we used the Olo markers. So we used the yellow and the blue, and, you know, it was fine. Okay, so then this one, this is kind of, could be masculine if we wanted. Good vibes. So again, we did not get the die. We just got the stamp. And so it's off a little bit, but that's okay. So what we did with this one was really, very easy. We just made lines with the different liquid watercolors. Mine kind of all bled together, and that's okay because I don't mind it. It kind of looks very beachy to me. So that is all that I made in my foray into Stamp Joy, and I had a really good time, and I did enjoy the fact that everything was cut and ready to go, and that just made the crafting so much quicker. So it just kind of depends on my mood, but I like the fact that the companies all do something a little bit different, so I get a nice variety. But if you're looking into doing any kind of Gamsol, and you don't like those stumps, look into these alcohol pens that you can refill on your own. I'm sure you can, I think they sell empty ones for like Copic markers that you could do the same thing to. But anyways, the one I saw recommended was this marker. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Cindy, Creating with the Heart.